Detroit Lions fans, Detroit Den 313 back with another one. Steve and Will here, ready to talk that Detroit Lions football. You know what it is. Hit that subscribe button if for some reason you haven't or you just stumbled upon us. Welcome in. And if you want to win some free stuff, go ahead and become a member. We got 3 tiers. You can go ahead and peruse those. You can win some free stuff. Steve, what the heck is going on today?
William, I'm gonna say this name. I'm only gonna say it once, and then we're gonna have to try to come up with a nickname or an abbreviation or something. But the Cleveland Browns have released Ogbo Okonrokwo. Did I get that? Is that pretty close?
I don't know. I'm not even gonna lie to
you. So pass rusher. We'll talk about him. Well, and what don't we do here? We don't talk about every single free agent that becomes available. All right. We don't go down that road of just because a guy gets released doesn't mean he's got to be a Detroit Lion. But there's some players, there's some positions where it just perks my ears up a little bit more. And you had a nickname for him before we came on the show, William. What are you going to call him?
Yeah, I was joking around saying Obi-Wan Kenobi, but it's Obo. The nickname the announcers are calling him is Obo, and I'm definitely going to go with Obo for this podcast because if he don't become a Detroit Lions, I'm never learning his name. I'll tell you that right now.
I'll try to learn his name, but I like his game. Well, pass rusher out of the University of Oklahoma. He interests me. Now, I'm not sprinting to the table. I'm not pounding and demanding for Brad Holmes to bring him in and sign him, but my interest level to at least bring him into a training camp workout and see what's going on is that aspect of me is pretty high. I'm at about a 9 there, but I don't see Obo as a needle pusher, but I do see him as a guy that, hey, if we're not going to go out and we're not going to sign Zadarius Smith, why not Obo? That's kind of the boat I'm in right now, William.
I get Julian Okora vibes. I get Romeo Okora vibes. I get like that type of vibes is what I get from him. Just a guy who's on the team who might make a play here or there. He'll be in the rotation. This is a guy who played in 30 games, had 7 sacks. He's not a guy, like you said, he's not a needle pusher, but he's a dude that maybe could help us. He's a guy who could get in and compete with some of those young guys that we got in camp, So for those reasons, maybe bring him in. I think his last deal was 3 years, $19 million. So, I mean, it's not like you're going to break the bank bringing him in. If they brought him in, would I be like over the moon? I wouldn't. I'd be like, hey, let's see what he does. Good pickup. 30 years old. He's not a spring chicken, but he's not over the hill either. So definitely probably has some decent football left in him. But I don't know, Steve. It's definitely pertinent. I'll say that. It's definitely pertinent because we've been talking about edge rusher. But I just don't know, man. Is he going to be better than Muhammad? Is he going to be better than – I like Isaac Ukwu. He's another one, man, that I like. That's kind of a quiet, silent assassin that doesn't get talked about much, man. Obviously, Hassanin, and then you get into talking about the dogs. But for as far as some of those guys that are a little bit deeper in the roster, I don't know, man. And then you know my dog Levi Onsariga can do it all. So
there it is. There, 3-minute mark. We had to get a Levi reference in here today. A little sooner than normal the last couple of weeks.
Well, yeah, that's how I'm feeling, man. But I definitely think it's pertinent. And if we brought him in, you know the first thing I did when I saw it. Well, actually, I normally it is the first thing that I do is watch film, but this time it was a little bit different. The first thing I did when they released him, I tried to see what he got released for, and then I wanted to see how much he made. And then after that, I watched some plays. I mean, he shows glimpses, Steve. He shows some glimpses of doing some good stuff, but it's just not consistent. So I do think getting on the team like the Detroit Lions with a player-friendly coaching staff, guys who work super hard, maybe we could squeeze a little bit more juice out of them than other teams could.
I like it, and I don't like it that you use Julian Okora and Romeo Okora because after you said it, I thought, yeah, I can kind of see that comp. I can kind of see that comparison, and it's fair. It's a fair comparison, more than for sure. And I'm with you. Just come in for training camp, compete, try to get a spot as one of these waves of pass rushers. Who you're going to be competing with? Probably Al Muhammad. I just want some insurance for Marcus Davenport. All right. We've hammered Zadarius Smith. I know we both want him, but as time goes on, I start wondering if that's becoming less and less likely to happen with training camp inching closer and closer to us. But I think just the more pass rushers on this team, the better. Until Lee McNeil gets back and Aiden Hutchinson, we don't 100% know what Hutch is going to look like on a football field. It might take him a couple weeks to get going. It might, he might not hit the ground week one and just be dominant, 4 or 5 sacks in 3 weeks again. It might take him a little bit of time to heal, see how that leg's healed up. So, I don't know what word I want to use when it comes to Obo, but I'm just wanting to see Brad Holmes bring in another pass rusher. If it's not Zadarius Smith, someone cheap, that's what screams kind of Brad Holmes' deal to me is, like you said, his last contract, 3 years, $6 million. This is just kind of screaming like a Brad Holmes type of move, like low cost, possible medium return, I would say. I'm not walking Obo to the Hall of Fame or to the Pro Bowl or anything like that. And you use the word glimpses, Will, and I'm with you on that as well. Glimpses. So let me ask you this. Is he an upgrade over James Houston, who we had last year? I think it's a for sure, yes.
Steve, your daughter is an upgrade from James Houston. So what are we really talking about?
Hands, where she's just kind of laying there on the chest and she pops me in the chin a couple times. Again, she's got some violent hands, hand fighter.
Upgrade immediately.
Yeah. Explosive too. And, she has something in common with James Houston as well.
Pooping her pants?
Yeah, she shits her pants quite often.
yeah, man. Like, definitely, I definitely would be an upgrade from James Houston, man, without a doubt. But I don't even think that's a good benchmark for if you're an upgrade from James Houston. That still don't mean you're gonna get on the field. So I don't know. Is James Houston even still in Cleveland? I don't even know if he's still out there.
I don't know. I don't care, honestly. I don't really care where he is, if I'm being honest with you. But just another wave of pass rusher. That's what I'm looking at with Obo. Training camp's coming. Why not just bring in another guy cheap? If it doesn't work out, cut him a check, pack his bags, see you later. I didn't get overly excited when I saw the news that he got released from Cleveland, but had to do a little digging because I saw defensive end. I remember him playing at Oklahoma, Super Bowl champion too. Got to give him that. Won a Super Bowl with the Rams a few years ago when Stafford was his first year with the Rams. So, Super Bowl champion. I don't think that's anything we have on our team. Will, do we have a Super Bowl champion on offense or defense? None that I can think of off the top of my head. So, comes with a little leadership as well. So, someone who's been on a deep playoff run, knows what it takes to win. I could be wrong on that. I'm racking my brain throughout the Lions roster and just no one's popping out to me. But listen, again, not a needle pusher for me, not a, oh man, Obo, he takes us to the promised land. He for sure gets us a Super Bowl. I'm not in that category like we were with TJ Watt or anything, but I'm just interested in them potentially signing one more player before training camp comes. So someone I got my eyes on.
Steve, I'm still on this train, and you mentioned him. I'm still on this Zadarius Smith train. I'm still on it. And the more and more I think about it, I think about this. Why does Zadarius Smith need to be at training camp? For what? For what? Because even I don't envision him even doing what he was doing with the Cleveland Browns. I don't envision the Detroit Lions asking him to be Robin. He was Robin for Myles Garrett. I think that's going to be Marcus Davenport. Right, so Zadarius Smith in Detroit is going to be a rotational guy. He's going to be splitting reps with those other guys. He's not going to be having to carry a huge load. And especially, I think it could give him a little bit more longevity to his career. So when you talk about potentially maybe doing a 2-year deal, hey, if he's a rotational piece for a 2-year deal, that makes sense. That interests me a lot more than him having to be Robin and play a bunch of snaps and take a bunch of abuse, getting into, that back nine of his career. But I'm still on the Zadarius Smith train for those reasons. So as these guys are getting released, and I know there's going to be some more through training camp, some of these young rookies are going to look better than maybe some of the coaches thought, or, we're going to have some guys who second year, third year guys who are starting to catch on and they earn some spots that weren't guaranteed. And you're going to get some veteran people that get released. So there's going to be some pass rushers that end up getting released. But as I go through this thing, I'm still sitting on Matthew Judon and Zadarius Smith. With Zadarius Smith, because of the relationship that we already have, kind of leaving away. Those are the two guys that I want to see as Detroit Lions, giving us those insurance pieces. And when I think about both of those guys, I'll say it again. Why do those guys need to be at training camp? Those guys can figure it out during the season. Right? They know what the grind is of the NFL. They know how to prepare their bodies, and then they're going to condition their bodies for the abuse week 1, week 2, week 3. It's a long season, man. So veteran guys, I don't think they really necessarily need to be at training camp, especially if they already have a strong understanding of the defense. And it could be one of those situations like our Teddy Two Gloves Bridgewater, man. He he was in conversations with the Detroit Lions the whole time he was coaching high school football. So it wasn't he didn't have to come in and just start from scratch when he came back in and he got the call. He kind of knew that was something that was on the table to be done. So, hey, maybe Zadarius Smith and the Detroit Lions are already working on some things. Hey, maybe him and Coach Shep are already talking about some of the things that this defense is going to be doing and looking like. And he's already preparing himself as he's spending time with Cash Dow and, I don't know, maybe getting ready to be featured in a music video.
I'm with you, Will. I've told you the only thing that concerns me is Zadarius Smith. I don't care that he's a free agent right now. What concerns me is I need him to be a Detroit Lion in training camp. I don't need him to participate in training camp. I don't need him to be on the field, going through that grind of those 2-a-days and those long 5 a.m. to however long days in the middle of the heat. But my concern is that another team loses a defensive end and they come to Zadarius's agent and they say, hey, what's the offer from Detroit? And they go a little bit higher. Whether it's a little bit more dollars, a little bit more years, and they steal him from us because he's on the wrong side of 30 for a pro, but I think he's still got a lot of juice left. I think he would be great for the Detroit Lions, but if he's looking for one more payday, that's a scenario that could be real right now because there's no guarantees he's staying in Detroit. I mean, he's dropped the hints that he wants to be here. I remember he was at the awards or whatever those awards were I can't remember what it was. And he even hinted like, when you coming back to Detroit, when you signing the contract? And he smiled and said soon. Like we saw that, we talked about it, we brought it all up. But if there's no contract, there's no saying that another team can't come in for a little bit more and snag him from right underneath our feet.
No, you're right. But then it becomes a decision. Is that a contender? Is it not a contender? Is he looking for a payday? Is he looking to chase a Lombardi? What's his goals? Where's he at? Does he want to be away from his new love of his life? You know what I mean? It looks like he's pretty smitten right now. What does he want to do? And what means the most to him ultimately? Because that thing could go the other way too, Steve. We could get into the season and mess around and Alquin Muhammad's looking good and Hassanin's looking good. He's looking like he's starting to catch on, man. Levi Onwuzurike's playing out of his mind, man, playing defensive tackle and the defensive end spot. Hey, maybe Pascal takes a step forward. Who knows, man? These guys could be somebody could step up, somebody could look good, and then maybe it's Brad like, hey, I don't necessarily need this guy. So I think that goes both ways. We got to wait and see how it goes. But bottom line is I really hope, in my heart of hearts is what I truly hope is Zadarius Smith and Brad have already conjured up a deal and they're just waiting, because it goes by weeks at the end of the day. So the more weeks he's not on the books, the cheaper the deal gets too. Like, I think people are kind of missing that aspect of it. And just because I signed for a year at this amount of money or 2 years at this amount of money, that doesn't mean that that's the paycheck that they're getting. All these different incentives and things that go on with these salaries, man. The players a lot of times got to earn that money. It's only the quarterbacks and a handful of guys that are getting guaranteed money, and it's not incentive based.
Yeah, I'm with you. Zadarius Smith's still my number one. Judon's my number two, and after that, I don't really have a ranking of who I want. I just want one more. I just want one more to come into training camp and compete, steal a job, win a job, earn a job, whatever it takes. But Will, I'm just ready for football. I'm ready for football season. It's killing me. We're so close, but it just seems so far away. We're here at the end of June, and I know on July 31st, a lot of people don't think playoff or preseason football is real football, but it's real football to me. You got a ref, you got pads on, you're hitting people, you're playing another team. That's real football. So we're about a month away, a little bit more. Actually, I think it's July 31st. So I know that's on a Thursday because we're going to that Hall of Fame game. So, well, I just need time to speed up just a little bit and get me to football season. I'm itching. I'm dying. I'm like a crack addict. I need some football in my life.
This preseason is going to be another one. It's going to be a huge preseason for the Detroit Lions. I cannot wait to watch Hendon Hooker in preseason. Can't wait. Can't wait to watch it. And before the guys hammer me, it's not because I'm looking for Hendon Hooker to take Jared Goff's job. I just want to see what we got. I want to see how he looks. Is he going to be a guy that's nipping at Jared Goff's ankles? Is he going to be pushing Jared Goff? Is he going to show that he can be a leader of an offense, that's all I want to see. I want to see him have command of the offense throughout this preseason. This year 3, Steve, we should see some good things from Hendon Hooker. He has all of the tools. Now, can he put it together? Can he be accurate? Can he be athletic when he needs to? Can he slide when he needs to and stop trying to run people over like a madman? Like, you know what I mean?
It's
Like,
the
but I
NFL.
want to,
Everyone's big, my man.
yeah, that's exactly. So I want to see, can he perform under the lights of the preseason and stop Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell, Coach Campbell, saying things like, "Hey, listen, if he wants the second job, he's got to earn it." And we want them coming to the podium and saying, "Our backup quarterback is Hendon Hooker." That's what you want.
We might have the best backup quarterback in the NFL potentially. Could be. I think that's another question. But we don't want to be spilling the beans on some of our preseason stuff that we're going to dive into. Don't be giving too much. But that might be an argument. Do the Detroit Lions have the best backup quarterback in the NFL? I don't know. I could like it. I could hate it. I'll find out in about a month where we're sitting at and how that's looking. And I'll have a better decision once I can see some film and some stuff on a football field instead of just speculation. But you got anything else for tonight, Will?
I think the best backup in the NFL, honestly, if I'm just going to drop that right now, is probably J-Mo. We got to get some more snaps from J-Mo.
All right. Well, he's like 0 for 1 with 1 interception. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this show up. Stick around and hit that like button. We'll be back later with another show.
Peace.